Doubledays and Scrappers set for action at 6:30 tonight at Falcon Park. Our Humphrey Catering player spotlight today is Jake Irvin, Doubledays righty pitcher. How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for being here, Jake. So you pitched for the first time in A-ball on Sunday. Yep. You pitched pretty well. You allow that leadoff single, then after that, 6 up and 6 down. What was working for you out there?
Yeah, just tried to overpower with my fastball and, get in on hitters early, try to keep the pitch count down and get it to the pen. So obviously I knew I was only going 2 innings, and the biggest thing was, just getting out of there as quick as possible.
Now, you mentioned that overpowering fastball. You are 6'6". You might be able to tell on the camera here. How do you feel like your frame helps you on the mound?
I mean, it's definitely like a big force up there, and my plane is a lot better than guys that might be like 5'11" or so. So that definitely plays a big part in that. But I think it's just kind of acting the part. So I'm 6'6", got to act like it, and having a big personality out there helps. Yeah.
So you joined a clubhouse that's pretty much been together for the entire season. You're kind of the new guy here with a few weeks left. How's that whole process been like, joining a dugout that's already kind of meshed?
Yeah, right. I think Barrett's played a huge part in like how those guys have all come together, and obviously it's a lot like college again, and it's just a great atmosphere. These guys they rally at all times, so it's fun. They definitely keep it loose, so it's a good clubhouse to be a part of, and like I said, it starts with Barrett.
Yeah. Now, Aaron Barrett's a former big leaguer. I know a lot of guys have kind of leaned on him as a leader. What have you learned from him so far? I know it's been only a few days, but what have you learned from him?
Right, yeah. It's a lot of the clubhouse stuff that we kind of just, mentioned, and being a good teammate, it plays a huge role in development and helps you get to where you want to be. And I think that guys like Barrett are so special, and they're few and far in between. So he definitely, has just kind of taught me a lot about having fun with it, playing loose, and just enjoying where we are right now.
Doubledays pitcher Jake Irvin here with us. Now, you mentioned college. You played at Oklahoma. You're actually from Minnesota originally, so how'd you end up in Norman?
I went to a showcase at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City when I was in high school. Coaches saw me there and started the recruiting process with them, and I took my visits to other places, but when I stepped on the campus in Norman, I just kind of fell in love and haven't looked back since. So it was a great 3 years, and it was something I wouldn't change for the world.
Kauffman Stadium's unreal. How cool was that to play there?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, and I hadn't been doing like any of the showcase circuit stuff, so the games that I'd pitch in have been like high school Legion games and whatnot. So pitching in a major league ballpark was something way different for me. It was a great experience.
Now, when you look back at your 3 years at OU, anything stand out? Like maybe some of your favorite memories, maybe on the field or off the field, anything?
I think just kind of the transition that our team took from freshman to sophomore year was really fun. We had a team full of talent my freshman year. Sadly, didn't make a regional, but then sophomore year we had a ton of seniors come back, guys that like here, the clubhouse atmosphere was just fantastic, and they kind of changed the culture that we had in the locker room. So those guys made baseball really fun, and I know that my sophomore and junior years were something that I enjoyed, and just had a ton of fun with, got me to where I am today, so that was really fun.
Yeah, now you mentioned a lot of talent in that locker room. Now, you're not so bad yourself. You also had a guy, Kyler Murray, top 10 pick of the A's. Steele Walker, I know, was a second-round pick. I know you played in Team USA with Steele Walker, right, over the summer. What was that whole experience like for you?
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic, I was there for the trials, left for a couple weeks, and then came back, but just being around some of the best players in the country, and having that exposure, getting to play with guys that obviously made their mark in college baseball was a lot of fun. So just got to meet some big names and have some fun with it. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Doubledays pitcher Jake Irvin here with us. Now, earlier I said you're from Minnesota. You're actually one of 3 guys from Minnesota on this team, and I also happen to be from Minnesota. Just a disclaimer here. So are you surprised that there are 3 Minnesota guys on the same team?
I really was. I didn't really know Tap too well until I got here. He went to a smaller school, but me and Ryan Smith grew up pretty close to each other, so played against him a lot growing up. So wasn't too surprised to see that he made it into pro ball and is hitting the crap out of the ball right now. But both those guys, great dudes. Obviously, all Minnesota people, great people, right? But no, it's really awesome. Wouldn't have ever expected to have 3 people in the same pro ball club. So it's been a good time.
Did you ever pitch against Rhino in high school?
I don't know if I did in high school. Growing up, I was actually a shortstop, so I didn't pitch a whole lot. So when we played each other, I was, in the field. He was in the field, but there was a lot of respect there. Definitely one of the dudes that could swing it at a young age. So, yeah, he's fun to watch.
Now, when you realized that you guys were going to be on the same team, what was that moment like when you first saw each other in the clubhouse?
Right. He just kind of gave me a hug. He's like, "What's up, man?" It's pretty exciting to be here, and obviously it had already been with Tap and whatnot, but for me, being around a couple more kids from Minnesota, it was really exciting. Just kind of a little clubhouse vibe there. It was great.
Now, Minnesota is obviously the state of hockey. You're obviously a baseball player, but you were telling me earlier that you're a pretty good hockey player back in the day.
Yeah.
What position did you play? Did you ever think about playing professionally with that?
Right. No, I was a forward. Wasn't the greatest ever. I wasn't very good, but definitely loved playing and still love to watch. Huge Minnesota Wild fan. But yeah, it's definitely one of the more fun, and entertaining sports to actually go to a game. And being in Oklahoma for 3 years, nobody there had really taken anything like that. So I brought a few of my friends to a Stars Wild game down in Dallas. Yeah, and we had a great time. Kind of introduced them to that, and then they really got into playoff hockey with me this year. So. Just trying to spread the wealth with that and teach people how awesome hockey is.
Spread the good news, right? Now, going to football, just last Minnesota question here. I got to ask, because you're actually the only Vikings fan on the team. Rhino's a Giants fan, and Tap is a Packers fan. How can you let him get away with that?
We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Probably the worst fans in sports are Packers fans that are from Minnesota. Yeah, and. So annoying. It's right up there with Chicago Blackhawks fans, and told them we couldn't be having that. It's terrible for team camaraderie, and we're gonna get something figured out for sure.
If he ever brings a Packers jersey into the clubhouse, if you want help burning it, I'm right here.
Right, absolutely. We'll get some gas and a couple matches.
All right, Jake. Before we let you go, going back to your college days at Oklahoma, being an OU guy, I gotta ask: do you ever hang out with Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I'd see Baker around quite a bit, and on campus after football games, stuff like that. And he would actually come out to baseball games. We get quite a big crowd out on our berm in the outfield, and people would just bring different things, grill out, whatnot. And always a fun guy to see on campus. You can see the personality on TV, but people don't know that he's the same off the field. He's just a great dude. Awesome person, really is. So yeah.
Did you ever see him dancing in person?
I did have the pleasure a couple times, but I never got anything that Twitter video that went viral. I didn't get anything like that. I was waiting for it, but no, never anything.
Yeah, and then when you pitched in college, you actually wore glasses on the mound, like a little Rec Specs vibe, the cool ones, not the nerdy ones. Right. I didn't see you wearing them the first time you pitched for us, so what's up with that?
Yeah, I actually ditched them this year at OU. Didn't wear them my junior year just because the past summer with Team USA, I'd worn them out there, and being in Cary, it was so humid, and I was like, if I pitch in anything like this in college, it's not going to happen. I was fogging up, impossible to see, and I was just, I was kind of over it, and I was like, I'm just going to go back to contacts. We're going to see how I like it, and things worked out. So.
All right, and then last question about Oklahoma. I saw in your Instagram bio, you say you're the owner of Austin Hansen, who is a fellow OU pitcher, now pitches with the Tri-City Valley Cats. What's that all about?
He is just my son. So, everything that I do or need done, he can do for me just because, he's my child, and he knows it too. Yeah, there's that respect there, that father-son respect, but he's kind of the owner of the New York Penn League right now, so I don't know if that makes me the owner of the New York Penn League, but Austin's a great guy, but at the end of the day, he knows he's my son. Yeah.
All right, well, maybe the Doubledays can own the New York Penn League at some point later this year. Fingers crossed. All right, Jake Irvin, Doubledays pitcher. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.